most of you know, I'm Topher, and for those of you who don't know and just randomly decided to click on my video, welcome to the channel. I'm Topher, thank you for stopping by. Or I am my alter ego, Miss Vanity Scarlet. So a couple months ago, I did the first video in this series where I was trying to find what my favorite Kelly Clarkson song was, and I figured that I was going to do a bracket system through each album to find out what my favorite song from each album was, and then once I finished going through all her albums, I'd figure out, do another bracket system with those winners and figure out what my overall favorite Kelly Clarkson song is at the moment, because I saw Kelly Clarkson do a similar thing, but she only had like a handful of songs from all the albums, and she did a bracket system and found out what she chose as her favorite song. So right now I've got all of the songs listed out on the back of my High School Musical marker board that I've had since college, and I'm just gonna go song by song in the order of track list on the album, and we're gonna see what my favorite song from Breakaway is. Alright, so first up we've got, and this is probably gonna be a lot shorter than the original video that I did because I'm all by myself. I don't have a guest star like I did before, so there's not gonna be a lot of banter back and forth, but you know, I'll still give my opinions and whatnot. But our first matchup is between Breakaway, the title track of the album, and Since You've Been Gone. I don't know. For me, they're both great songs. They both have different emotions behind them, but they're both songs that I heard so much. Like, I feel like when this album first came out, both of these songs got so played out so quickly. I love both the songs to death, but like they were played so much, and I'm not gonna say I got tired of them, but they got played out a lot, and they were usually, whenever I would listen to the album for a while after that era faded down, I would usually just hop over those. I'd just skip over those tracks because I just heard them so many times. But now that it's been nearly a decade later, you know, I'll listen to the songs. I don't skip over them anymore. But I'm probably gonna have to go with Since You've Been Gone, just because I love what she does with it vocally live, and I feel like she sung that song live a lot more and a lot more recently than she has Breakaway. I feel like Since You've Been Gone is one of her older songs that keeps making it back into a circulation. If she does medleys and whatnot, or if she sings older songs, this always seems to come into the picture, and I feel like this song, she just embraces more of her inner rock star, which really, the Breakaway album, that's what an overarching theme of the album seemed to be. Like, vocally, she was straying away from the sort of pop R&B influences that she had in the Thankful era, and she was starting to embrace the pop rock genre that she became famous for. Like, Breakaway album, that was like her signature stamp. Like, even people who aren't Kelly Clarkson fans, if you were going to ask them what a Kelly Clarkson song was, they would jump most likely to songs from this album, your Since You've Been Gone's, Because of You's, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to go with Since You've Been Gone because I feel like live vocally she embraces that inner rock star, which I love to hear in her voice. Alright, so our next matchup is Behind These Hazel Eyes versus Because of You. Now, these two were also singles released off the album, and they also got a lot of play too, but unlike the first two, like, these songs never reached a point, at least for me, where I felt like they were played out or they got overplayed. And maybe they were played as much or more than Breakaway and Since You've Been Gone, but I don't know, something about them just, they never got on my nerves, and I never got tired of listening to them. I could always listen to them again. I never felt like skipping them whenever they came on, so maybe I just enjoyed them more than the first two, or maybe they just didn't get played as much on the radio. But they're both two beautiful songs. Behind These Hazel Eyes, similar to Since You've Been Gone, it embraces that really rock edge that she was really starting to cultivate during this Breakaway era, and I love that on her voice. But Because of You is such an emotional song. It's such a personal song for her, and it's just such a beautiful, stunning song. And there've been so many renditions of it. Her rendition with Reba McEntire, and you know, other people have covered. Like, it's such a beautiful song. So for me, between these two, I'm gonna have to go Because of You, just because of the emotional content. I love the rock edge, but I'm very much a ballad singer. I've mentioned this in a number of videos, and I love a good ballad. I love sad music. I love music that makes you sad and depressed and makes you feel things. Because I'm strange like that, and I like that. So Because of You wins this bracket. All right. So our next bracket is between Gone and Addicted. So now, one thing about the Breakaway album is, even once things, it's got played out a little bit, and I heard certain songs so many times, so I was like, okay, please add that. I'm not just gonna skip over the song for now. There wasn't a single song on this album that I ever felt was like a filler track. Like, I felt like every single track on this album, even just the album tracks, could have been released as singles. They could have been singles just as well as the other, 5 songs that were singles, and they could have done just as well on the charts. I felt like every single song on this album was a cohesive part of the album, and it was just, there were no filler tracks. There were none of that. So when it comes to Gone, you didn't, I'm gone to find someone to live for in this world. Like, that song for me is like such a perfect, like, pop rock kind of song. Like, it's such a, like, I could hear it on like a Disney movie or Radio Disney or something like that. It's like just such the perfect kind of pop rock song that's accessible to younger kids, accessible to adults and whatnot. Like, you can play it on any of these radio stations. Like, there's nothing too mature in content about it. It's just very easily accessible. It's very catchy, it's very radio friendly. But Addicted, again, kind of similar to Because of You, it's got these darker tones. It's just the subject matter is a little bit darker, it's a little bit heavier, and it's not really got a ballad feel to it. Parts of it are slow and kind of ballady, but then the chorus kicks in, and the instrumentation gives it a lot more of those rock elements. Like, the music, it gives her the license to embrace a lot more of that rock star in her voice. And honestly, I'm not sure if I've heard her sing Gone live. I know I've heard her sing Addicted live before, and it was kind of hard for her. It's one of those, it's really hard to sing. Like, it's deceptively hard. Like, listening to it, you wouldn't think it's all that challenging, because there's not a whole lot of like super high notes or anything like that, but there's a lot of breath control that involved. There's a lot of like the phrasing of it. It's like, it's a really hard song to sing. I don't think I've heard her sing Gone before live. But I'm gonna go with Addicted, just because I like the darker tones and whatnot of the song, the lyrical content, and I like harder songs. I like that aspect of it. All right. So next up, we've got Where Is Your Heart and Walk Away. Now, Walk Away was, I believe, the last single, the 5th single off the album, and that was a bop. That, honestly, Walk Away, I want to say Walk Away was the very first song I ever sang at karaoke. It was either Walk Away or it wasn't Sober. It was a Kelly Clarkson song. I don't remember. It wasn't very good, because I'm not Kelly Clarkson, and I know that now. When I was younger, I thought I was Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey, and I thought I had all these vocals and whatnot. And as I got older, I learned that I'm a man and I don't have those vocals, and that's fine. It is what it is. But yeah, I remember singing Walk Away and just thinking I was a rock star and trying to be Kelly Clarkson, because I love Kelly Clarkson's vocals on Walk Away. They just But Where's Your Heart, though? That song is stunning. It is such a beautiful, and it's different from the other songs on the album, but it still fits in so well, because it's similar to Because of You in the fact that it's just a piano, and I guess Beautiful Disaster, in that it's just a straight piano ballad, but there's something about the piano and then the incorporation of the strings and just the breathy nature in her voice throughout the majority of the song. Like, I remember when I first listened, like, it was giving me very Sarah McLachlan vibes, and I freaking adore Sarah McLachlan. I should react to her. I haven't reacted to her on this channel. That's a shame. But I adore Sarah McLachlan, and like, Where's Your Heart? There's just something about it that just gave me total Sarah McLachlan vibes. Like, it's just something about, I could just sit there and listen, close my eyes, and just like meditate with that song. I remember when I was in college, I was taking a dance class. That's how I got to performing, in case you didn't know. But I was taking a dance class, and we didn't have to we had to do a project, but this was beside that point. I remember someone else making a CD for my dance teacher, and she was such a sweet person. And Miss Linda Lopez, I've mentioned her. Have I mentioned her? I may not have mentioned her, but I mentioned her elsewhere. But she's honestly the reason that I got into performing, and the reason that you're seeing me right here, right now. If it wasn't for her and her nurturing, her guidance, and her support, I wouldn't be performing. I wouldn't be doing any of this stuff. But she whenever people would make CDs for her, she was very, very good about incorporating them into the class, whether it was for the stretches at the beginning of the class, or cool downs after the class, or running exercises across the floor, whatever. Like, she was very cool about that. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make her a CD. So I made her a CD with all kinds of stuff that I was listening to, and I remember putting this song in because I wanted her to hear this song, because I love this song, and I wanted her to hear the song. I felt like she would adore the song, especially for like stretching and all that kind of stuff. Like, it was just, I adore the song. So I'm gonna have to go with Where's Your Heart, just because I just adore the song. I adore every song on this album, but that song is just, it's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous vocal, gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. Okay, can I say gorgeous anymore? Gorgeous. All right, so next up we've got You Found Me versus I Hate Myself for Loving You. You found me when no one else was looking. How did you know? Just I hate myself for losing you. Alright, so You Found Me was similar to Gone, where like it was such a perfect like pop rock, Radio Disney, radio friendly song. Like, I could hear it in on the soundtrack of a movie in the background. I could hear it playing on Radio Disney. I could hear it playing like in a Lizzie McGuire movie, or in like in one of those teenage, tween Disney TV shows. I could hear it playing in the background of a scene. Like, it's just one of those songs that it's just so radio friendly, so pop friendly, and it's just a good pop song. I Hate Myself for Losing You. Yeah, I'm gonna go with I Hate Myself for Losing You. There's just something about that particular, like, I love the lyrical content of that song. Let me see. And then coming out of the bridge, that little riff series she does. I wish you knew, and oh, I don't know what to say, and I don't know anyway anymore. No. That's sorry. Sorry, you guys had to live through that entire series, but I couldn't get to that without singing through the chorus. But that series, no, like that Run series, I freaking adore. I remember the first time I heard it, I'm like, yes, like it just makes me think of quintessential rock star Kelly Clarkson when she's rocking her head and stomping her foot and holding the mic stand, like it like that right there. So yes, I Hate Myself for Losing You. Love it. All right, so then the last bracket we have in our first round is Hear Me versus Beautiful Disaster, the live ballad version. Now, right off the bat, Beautiful Disaster wins. Like, Hear Me is gorgeous, and this is a very hard matchup because I love Hear Me. I love the choruses are just so good, and they're so fun to sing. Hear me, yeah. It's another song that's a very good radio friendly song. It's a little bit darker, a lot darker in lyrical content, but just like the melody of it is very very catchy, very easy to sing, and I adore the song. But Beautiful Disaster, the live ballad version, that is just like quintessential Kelly Clarkson right there. Like there's just that wins easily. All right, so that is our first bracket. So now this is the current standing. We've got Since You've Been Gone versus Because of You, Addicted versus Where's Your Heart, and I Hate Myself for Losing You versus Beautiful Disaster live version. So when we get into this next bracket, Since You've Been Gone versus Because of You. Both great songs, but it goes to Because of You hands down for me. Because, like I've mentioned a number of times, if you haven't caught on already, I'm a ballad singer and I love good, sad, depressing music. I love ballads, so Because of You wins. But Since You've Gone, still a great track. Alright, so now we've got Addicted versus Where's Your Heart. This one's a little bit tougher for me. Because Addicted has those darker tones, but like the music itself has that sort of darker rock edge to it, where Where's Your Heart is just this stunning piano ballad. And Where's Your Heart? Yeah. I can tell you for this last bracket between I Hate Myself and Loving You, Beautiful Disaster, it's Beautiful Disaster without question. Okay, so it looks like the final bracket is a three-way between the three big piano ballads of the Breakaway album. So I guess you can see a little bit of a trend. I like my ballads, in case you haven't caught on to that already. So it is between Because of You, Where Is Your Heart, and Beautiful Disaster, the live ballad version. Now they're all beautiful, stunning songs. Kelly does beautiful vocals on all of them. She has fantastic belts on all of them. She has stunning, gorgeous transitions up into her gorgeous head voice in all of them. And they all have great lyrics, great message. But for me, this is not even a competition. Beautiful Disaster, the live piano version, because like I said, that to me is quintessential Kelly Clarkson right there. Taking a song that is so identifiable, taking a song and then changing it completely into some new entity and just reinterpreting the lyrics in such a way that the story is just so evident and so powerful. Like Beautiful Disaster, the pop version on Thankful, it's fine. It's a good catchy pop song, but I never paid attention to the lyrics until I heard this version. It wasn't until I heard this live piano version that I was like, oh, okay, and it's just a level of storytelling from Kelly Clarkson that I've come to adore. Like I said, it's quintessential Kelly Clarkson. If you want to see Kelly Clarkson tell a story, you watch her do Beautiful Disaster live. If you want to hear her give you stunning vocals, you watch her do Beautiful Disaster live. If you want to give all your feels, to feel all your feels and to get all your life, you watch her do Beautiful Disaster live. Like, it is just such a stunning recreation of what was a very manufactured pop kind of song, upbeat song. Like, I love when singers take a song that's naturally upbeat and they strip it down to its bare bones and they just turn it into magic, and that's what Kelly Clarkson did with this. The other songs were magical in their own right. They're all, stunning vocals, but she stripped every bit of pop and just studio manufacturing out of the original version from Thankful, and she took these lyrics and she interpreted it. She's like, give me a piano. That's all I need. All I need is this piano, and I'm gonna show y'all what this song is about. I'm gonna sing this song to you. Stunning. Love it. So that concludes this episode of What's My Favorite Kelly Clarkson Song. So in Thankful, we determined that Anytime was my favorite song off that album, and for Breakaway, my favorite song is Beautiful Disaster, the live piano version. So thank you for joining me. Let me know what your ranking is in the comments. I'm sure everyone doesn't always agree with me. I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way about this song, but they might have disagreed on other songs. So let me know. Let me know what your favorite track is, or let me know what your ranking all the way through is in the comments. And if you guys have suggestions or requests or anything, just let me know. Put that in the comments too. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, turn on notifications so be notified when all my shenanigans get posted. If you guys would like to support the channel in other ways, you're more than welcome to join us over on Patreon. You don't have to, but you're more than welcome to if you want to. And I will see you guys in my next video. Love ya. Mwah. Before you guys go, a shout out to my amazing patrons. I can't begin to express how thankful I am for your support. And if you guys would like to join us over on Patreon, the link is down in the description. I love you guys. To check out the playlist on my channel for all of your favorite reaction videos. We've got playlists for Morissette Amon, Kelly Clarkson, Katrina Velarde, Tori Kelly, and more, so be sure to check them out.